How's it going today, everyone? This is KaijuFanatic, your host, bringing you a new figure review. Today we're looking at the SH MonsterArts Godzilla 1991 Shinjuku Decisive Battle version. We are going to be doing this a little bit more retro style, as I'm not really feeling good. So this is just going to be a one-shot review, no fancy edits, no nothing. So please enjoy this kind of trip back memory lane, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you guys who have and supporting the channel. We're almost at 900 subs. So let's dive right in and look at this masterful figure. This was sculpted by Yuji Sakai, which would explain why this Godzilla 91 looks so damn good. I'll admit it. I think the sculpt on this thing is amazing. I wasn't for sure on it in the promotional pictures, which I don't know why, because now that I've, owned the figure and gone back and looked at them just to kind of look for QC bumps or anything, I think this sculpt is just incredible. Maybe it's because I appreciate his molds a little bit more with X pluses, and this kind of feels like a small X plus with articulation. It's just really, really nice. I love this sculpt. I think it is just about as suit accurate to the Shinjuku 91 suit as you can get. It's got a huge long tail. The dorsal plates are super nice and classic looking. The head is grumpy and mean. It's just wonderful looking. I am in love with the sculpt, packed with detail, packed with depth. It's going to be fun taking photos of this and then doing black and white variants. When it comes to the paint, the eyes on mine, thankfully, are basically where you want them to be. They're a little aimed up, kind of like his head should be dipped more, but no cross eyes, no two different directions. They both are looking the same way. They're just a little bit more up, but I think that gives him this look, which looks really, really grumpy, and I love that. The teeth on mine are actually painted really, really well, considering. Look at those. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not the best, but still better than normal, especially for a standard Godzilla release. Sometimes these are painted really, really bad. The nails look good. Toenails are pretty good. There is a paint chip right out the box on the toenail, but it's a small one. There's another one. Not too bad. Dorsal plates are looking extra, extra fine, thankfully. Love the way these look. There is, down here at the tail, possibilities for paint rubbing. So you can see right there, that is a paint rub. I'm pretty sure I did that while I was posing it right out of the unboxing, so I'm not going to hold Tamashi on that one. So, not too bad, not too bad. I think this figure looks stunning. I can't wait to get Mecha King Ghidorah next to it. So, let's go over the articulation. This figure is packed with it. Everything that I didn't like about the 89, they fixed. And I'm really, really happy with that. This figure is just improvement upon improvement. So how it works is there's two joints in here, and you have this sleeve. Now, not all of them are going to be like this, and it is admittingly a little frustrating. But you kind of have to pinch the sleeve down so you can move that top joint so it can get its full range of articulation. And you can get the full jaw movement so the mouth can open nice and wide. All Heisei-like. I love that look. But because of that, he's got pretty good range, so he can look not Final Wars up, but he can still look pretty far up, and he definitely can do a little bit more if you want to push it. Not bad. He can look really far down once you get all the joints moving in. I love that. He can turn left and right. Very, very nice. Good joint tolerance. It's a little tight. Not too tight, though, where I feel like I'm going to snap it. The arms are super impressive, so they go out this much, but they also kind of have like this drop-down mechanic, and you can get them to go almost 90 degrees, which you don't see a lot of times with the Godzilla sculpts. So, we're going to take a very big W right there, Going to take it. Definitely articulates more than a Haya, so, I'll take it. We'll see how that 91 looks, even though it's a different suit, so I don't think it's the most fair comparison. Arms go all the way up. They can go vast further if you want. They can pretty sure these could go 360. The biceps twist, a little bit of squeak. They're a little tight, but nothing scary on this one, where like if you go back and watch my 89 review, I can't even move the biceps on mine really, because they're so tight and they just always felt like they were breaking. The elbows go in and out. They don't go flat, or at least this one doesn't. This one mostly does, but it looks kind of weird admittingly. So, but this Godzilla's always got his arms kind of up like this, so I don't worry about it too much. The wrists on double ball pegs, and just kind of like the 72, I think they're still trying to quite figure out how to do this. This wrist is mostly fine. This one, the bottom wrist joint is super tight, but the top one isn't, so you kind of get like half the range that you're supposed to. So that's nice. A little scary still. I will admit that joint tolerance right there is nerve-wracking for me personally. So the waist, they fixed the waist on this over the 89. It's just mainly one joint, but like that's quite a bit of a bend. Yes, you get a gap, but like you can get them leaned over. Then you can get them standing straight. That's about it. You can't really lean back on it, but it adjusts, so you can fix it. The thighs are interesting. So the sculpt on this leg doesn't allow it to go higher than that, but it does go really far back. Excuse me. So that's kind of nice. Where this leg has more room, so it can go like almost all the way forward, but then it doesn't go all the way back. I feel like there's some sort of like drop down mechanic in here that kind of helps, but I feel like with mine right now at least, something's not aligned quite right in there, so they're both kind of goofy, so it kind of disproportionalizes it a little bit. So something I have to go in and fix, you know, take it apart, heat it up. The knees are nice, they bend pretty well, and then very thankfully this Godzilla's got the best ankle range I think I've seen out of basically any of the Godzillas. He can do anything and everything. Like the fact that you can get his leg like that, you can get this leg in a wide stance, so you get this nice powerful Kamehameha pose with his legs, attacking pose, lunge pose, whatever you want to do with it. So that's very, very nice. Now, the tail, although very articulated, very, very nice. Mine, and I think it's a little bit more common across the issues. Quite a few loose joints here in the beginning bit, so it's kind of floppy. And then obviously, joints pop off throughout the tail, like in here quite a bit. So I think it was this joint pop off right before the review, or this joint, and then the tip of the tail is popped off on me. It doesn't feel like it's going to just fall off, kind of like 2014, where it was just like sometimes you check the figure and the tail would just fall off. At least here you have to touch it and you have to articulate it, but it is kind of loose, but it has got some of the best range even with that looseness here. Oop, see, and then just popped off. You know, not too big of a deal. I feel like it's not too bad comparatively. It's definitely not the worst tail, but it is frustrating. It is frustrating at times. So, but you can get all the range, you can get all the swoops that you want to get your Heisei Godzilla tails in, and for the most part it holds up. So articulation is surprisingly very, very nice. So for size comparisons, real quick here, and kind of my final thoughts. We've got the new Mechagodzilla 2 from the, I can't remember the set name, and I've got it boxed up right now, but from the Rodan and Mechagodzilla set and Garuda set. So the Godzilla's a little tall when he stood up straight and you got his head all up and in. He's a little bit taller than he should be, but that's okay. I think it's close enough. You know, MonsterArts isn't completely about size accuracy or just accuracy in general. So, you know, there's going to be some inconsistencies. As long as they're kind of like around, I don't mind. MonsterArts -1. -1 is bulkier even with the head down. His eyes are a little bit above 91. So that's pretty cool. in canon, it doesn't make sense since he's only 40 some meters, and this Godzilla's at 100 meters, but I like -1 kind of being more chunkier than everyone. Next we have Night Combat 4th Form Shin, who is quite a bit taller, as you can see. Huge, comparatively, which is good. That's what we want. Shin is supposed to be the Mac Daddy besides Earth, so I definitely don't mind him being larger. And then as a final comparison, we have the Earth Garon from SHF, just to show you guys some cross-play with your Ultraman line if you're like me and you want to collect more of the mechs and the kaijus and the aliens now and less of the Ultramen, so you can have some extra villains for your Godzilla and others to fight. Very, very nice scaling. I'm very, very pleased with this figure. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know what MonsterArts is doing with these last few releases that I've bought. But whatever it is, I want them to keep doing it because I am definitely a fan again. Just shows that I should have been a little bit more patient last year on some of the collection selling. I definitely regret selling some of the collection now because if I had at least most of the collection, like, it would be cool to show 89 up here and some of the others, but I'm very, very pleased with this Godzilla. I think this is a great standard 91 Godzilla. Yes, it doesn't come with accessories. Yes, the US retail value is expensive. If you import it, it's less than US retail after shipping, which basically shipping is 30 bucks no matter what from Japan, as long as it's like in a small to medium type box. So you're not going to get around that really. So when you consider that, this figure is only like 60, 70 bucks maybe in Japan. It is starting to sell out now that it's been about a year that it's been out. So I would recommend picking it up sooner than later. You can still kind of find it on Buy for cheap prices. I bought mine off of Amazon just because I got the Mechagodzilla set, because the Mechagodzilla set is sold out in Japan. So I'm very pleased with this. I'm very, very happy with this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this retro style review. Sorry it's kind of laid back and lazy. I really don't feel good. I'm kind of surprised that I could sit down for 13 minutes and record this and be mostly fine. So that's pretty, it's a good sign, at least I'm on the uptrend. But yeah, I'm very pleased with this. It's definitely one of my favorite MonsterArts, considering what I have now and what I owned. This is definitely on the higher end. I don't know, 8 out of 10 probably, minor issues with joint tolerance and some paint chipping. I feel like this is a very solid release, and I think you guys should definitely pick it up if you want it. This was KaijuFanatic, your host, and I will see you guys in the next review. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you if you have, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.